Okay, I am coming back to this section, and you're not going to like it, but I think it has to be done. The change. You have called this a concurrent multi-level method study, and I think it's a multi-level study. It is not a mixed method study. This is a qualitative study. It aligns with the holistic structure and all that. All these things are true, is intended a versatile, supporting research to better understand the holistic structure, the levels and components. That's all great. I don't know if Headley is the reference you want, but you want to get quality. This, by the way, you put 2016. When I looked it up, that was like some mathematical reference, so I think that should change. The research design is modified by connecting levels of analysis through different lenses of perception. I think that's great. This modification, so that can stay better aligns with the research design, the pragmatic aim of finding practical solutions. The research design also provides three levels at which data types are weighted differently. And that's where we have to change it. So this part here is okay. Here's my you've got a very weak survey that is not addressing the aims of your study. It really isn't. Some of them are. What that survey does is provide good contextual information about where the students started and their attitudes about that. So that's okay. That gives you a good sort of here's where they started. But it has nothing to do with a holistic perspective or how iterative design about learning about things and developing a perception of our IVR, because it's just this very short uh, questionnaire that actually refers to things like, do you think IVR will replace distance learning, which is irrelevant to your study, I think, and classroom learning. I mean, these are just sort of statements that don't really fit in. Some of their preconceptions might be so, but that's just setting the context. Your richness, the data, which you've done, I think, a very nice job of explaining, as I've looked at, I haven't gone through it all, is um, to present this phenomenological perspective of learning with IVR. I think you've done a good job. It was the right methodology. The quantitative doesn't really fit. And so, because what you're trying to do is converge these weak, invalid, unreliable statements with this rich qualitative data, and it doesn't work. It's exposing you to a lot of criticism. And I wouldn't want you to get to that to the external face, because they'll be critical of that. So the good news is that you can just eliminate what you can present that quantitative data at the beginning to sort of give context, but then you can ignore it from then on, and you can cut out those convergence sections which don't make a lot of sense, particularly with research question 2 when I looked at it. There was one thing that sort of aligned with IVR replacing distance learning. It didn't make a lot of sense. I know this will require a fair bit of revision, but not as much as you think. Um, and I think it will make it a tighter and a better thesis. There is no way this would be publishable if you had uh, this kind of quantitative data. And so I see this when you're talking about the concurrent session. I just don't see that the quantitative data really adds anything. I think you're pushing it in there because you collected it, and it really is best presented as a description of your immersence in the study.